Hey guys, doing something a little new. Going to be capturing some legacy play. I'm playing with Death and Taxes. This hand is unkeepable. This hand's not great, but it's keepable. We're going to scry to the top. And not that. I'm putting that to the bottom directly. Aether Vial would be okay. Aether Vial's not even that good. If you don't have Aether Vial on turn 1, it becomes quite poor. I mean, I would probably... I don't even know if I'd play it on turn 2 over Thalia. Maybe a turn 3 play at that point. You're still going to want to get it because it does make Flicker Wisp a lot more alive. So, Mother of Runes, go. Let's see what our opponent's on. They could be on like a Deathrite deck. If they're on a Cantrip heavy deck, it's not even... Alright, well, they may be on like green-white, like Nick Fit. I've been seeing a lot of that deck recently. I think I'm going to play the Spirit here. They didn't have STP. I don't know if Spirit's going to be relevant, but it attacks for more damage, so that's why I'm playing it here. Because if they are on green-white or like Abzan/Junk Nick Fit, I'm going to need to kill them fast. Alright. They could be on some sort of weird lands build. Cabal Pit would belie that. Cabal Pit's pretty good against our deck. It does get around Mother of Runes. So they could be using Loam of some sort. The nice thing about the Cabal Pit is that if they're tapping it for life of the Loam this turn, they're taking 2 damage this turn. One off of Windswept Heath, one off Cabal Pit, which is not horrible. It means they're at a virtual 15 on the following turn. And then I can also get a Thalia down. It's not 0% that I just want to tap one of their lands, though. Alright, they're doing nothing. Maybe they run Toxic Deluge main, too. I don't know. Alright, so if they are running Toxic Deluge, I think it still makes sense to play Thalia here because they're only going to make 1 land drop. So if they're running Diamond, Diamond's still going to cost 1 if a Thalia lives. So get in there. Get in there, Spirit of the Labyrinth. Alright, it appears they're going to try to do something to one of my cards. And at a minimum, I can protect it this turn. It means they likely have something else they want to try to do on the next turn. I can resolve Thalia. If it's... It feels like it's probably Abrupt Decay. Which cannot be countered, but can be fizzled, if you will, off of protection clauses. So we're going to do this. It belies they have another one. Alright. I'm going to play out Thalia here. And the cool thing is I get to F6 now. And they can Abrupt Decay my Mother of Runes. I assume that's what they're going to do. But at a minimum it taps them out. And on the following turn I can Rashad and Port. Alright, Maze of Ith is pretty annoying. Alright, Bob. Okay. I think Bob has got to go. Alright, go ahead and turn one of them around. Or don't. Just don't use Maze of Ith? Okay, I like that. Urbor would still allow them to cast out a Toxic Deluge here. Alright, they just go ahead and concede it. Alright, well, I don't know what we're playing against. We're playing against some sort of weird legacy deck. I mean, is Rest in Peace good in this matchup? Probably, sort of. I like this card in this matchup. Maybe not as much. I gotta see more. I don't know. Like, Rest in Peace is probably good if they're playing Cabal Pit. but I'm not gonna totally bank on that. I mean, it could be appropriate to bring one in, but I'll see more of their deck. I mean, we won that one pretty easily, but I think that's due to some misplays on their part. One, the Maze should have prevented 3 damage there. Alright. This is more of a Death and Taxes hand. Alright, let's keep. If we don't get turn 1, you see a loam here? Looks like it. There's Bob. Okay. Well, interesting line here because that was not a good draw. Typically, we'd want to get the Vialed out on turn 1, but I'm just going to get rid of this Bob right away. Okay. Dryad Arbor. Cool. Mox Diamond, probably. I'm a bit greedier here. What I'm hoping to do is draw a land on the next turn, and then get the Vial down plus cast the Thalia. And or get Vial down plus Rishadenport. Okay. Or I think this is better than Thalia. We drop them of 1 mana here, put them up to 23 life. And get down a Vial. So still at 3 mana, so ostensibly they can't do anything new. Obviously they can, though. They're just going to plow my Phyrexian Revoker. Alright, Abrupt Decay on the Vial? Oh, okay, I don't care about that much. I think Revoker's more important. And here, I'm just going to cast the Thalia out and attack. I mean, Vial was an option there, but I think if I can get a threat down or get a Vial down, especially with the hand I've currently got, which is not good. I mean, they can blow up Thalias for days, and I don't really care. But if they have to pass it back because they can't do anything, then I'll just start tapping down their lands. Alright, Tabernacle. That's annoying as hell. But what can you do? Yep. Yep. Alright, STP. This is like a lands deck, but worse. I don't really understand it. Alright, 4 mana. If I draw a Wasteland here, do I Wasteland the Tabernacle? I probably don't, actually. Alright, it's a moot point because I didn't draw a Wasteland. Okay, STP. Well, do you have something relevant to do? No? Land? No, no land. I don't think we play out the Mother of Runes here, because I want to leave up STP. I think the Thalia was actually wrong to kill there. I think you would rather kill the Phyrexian Revoker. Alright, so they're playing Punishing Fires as well, so maybe I do want to get the Mother down here. I want to draw land still, but that's not going to happen, obviously. Mother of Runes, if he has the Punishing Fire, well, we're going to get had here. Alright, Punishing Fire on the Phyrexian Revoker. Okay. And Punishing Fire on the Mother of Runes. So, good card advantage there. So now we're going to have to get down... Actually, I could just get down the Sanctum Prelate and stop the Punishing Fire. Yeah, that seems fine. Well, just going to resolve this thing here. I don't want to discard. Would have liked to hit a land there to get the Sanctum Prelate down, but at a minimum, I guess I could start burning my face at basically 1 point at a time. Alright, here you go. Alright, they can Punishing Fire 2 times in a turn. Sanctum Prelate should stop these shenanigans pretty well, but we shall see. I think I am going to discard here 1 Thalia. Very mana intensive way of doing damage. It does work. It's better for removing creatures and planeswalkers, though. We're going to ditch a Thalia and then just port one of these things. So they have to do... If they want to do this, they have to do this during their upkeep. They don't want to. Cool by me. Maybe we wanted to wait on this for 3 on the Vial so we could play this out with the mana and then Flicker Wisp it if it got Swords to Plowshared. Alright, they're just going to do this now. Okay. How do you know I'm going to name 2? Okay. Alright, 2 is the word. If I cast a Planeswalker, I'd rather have Revoker up than Thalia. Thalia is not going to stop their mana at this point, and I'm paying for this Sanctum Prelate already. Yeah, that's kind of what we were worried about. I think they probably drew that, but what can you do? Rexage? Okay. I'm just going to put the Stoneforge Mystic into play and get the Jit. Not because I think it's good, because they're just going to kill this thing, regardless. I wonder if they'll force me to pay for it. They might. I think I should do it now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is getting a card on my deck, allowing me to find a land, is kind of all it's doing. Okay, you got the Aether Vial. The Plow was unfortunate. Can I stop Punishing Fire right now? No, I probably can't, so I'm going to have to concede this one, I think. I'm going to save time. I mean, my opponent's down on clock, but I'm not going to make him go through it. Surgical Extraction is not bad against that. I think I only want 1. And then maybe like 2 Rest in Peace. Palace Jailer does not seem useful in this matchup. Well, let's consider that. Maybe we want 1. Mirran Crusader against Punishing Fire, not as good. I don't think we need Jit in this matchup. Then we can probably cut a couple Stoneforge Mystics as well. Well, wait. Let's leave in 3 Stoneforge Mystics and cut. I meant to cut a Spirit of the Labyrinth, yeah. Did I accidentally cut Rest in Peace? Do I want 2 Rest in Pieces? Maybe I do. And then cut what else? Possibly 1 Recruiter of the Guard. Alright, let's give this a shot. Could have cut 2 Spirits. I don't think they're drawing cards here. Nope, someone knows that I put videos up. Alrighty. So, I think we just go turn 1 Mother of Runes. Alright, they're mulliganing heavily. They probably want to have a turn 1 Swords to Plowshares to stop Mother. And if this Mother gets to stick, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. And they probably do run. Alright, yeah, they're passing it pretty aggressively, which is good for us. So here, I don't think we need to show the Caracas yet. Just play out the Stoneforge Mystic, find the Battered Skull, because we took the Jit out. Jit did not seem great in this matchup. And then pass it. Alright. Now, we obviously don't have a way to stop punishing fire outside of Mother of Runes yet, so if they have double removal, that could be an issue. So we'll see. Okay, STP. Just gonna play the Caracas out. I guess I could get down the Mirror Crusader, but I'd rather play around Toxic Deluge to a larger extent. Okay. I suppose that last game we could have tried to find Wastelands. Maybe that was another out. I mean, it would have taken a very specific draw. I guess our chances weren't 0%, so maybe we should have conceded. If we had thought about it a little more, Rishport wasn't going to do it because they'd just, do that whenever they could have. They would do it because instant speed. They would have done it whenever. All right. Well, they do have the Grove, so they could try to burn something. When I tap, Swords to Plowshares it. All right, Liliana. Okay. Wonder if they're going to make us discard. I'm going to discard the free creature here to get up on card advantage. And then what we can do is we can Flicker Wisp the Battered Skull and have it come back at end step. Yeah, it's less damage, so it's less tempo-y, but it's going to knock out their Liliana. Ooh, Flagstone's cool. Just play out Flicker Wisp. So, getting some card advantage here. And because I only need to do 1, I think this line makes sense. Just knock out the Liliana. And say, hey, there you go. And then next turn we can get some more sizable amount of damage in, or a more sizable amount of damage in. Mirror Crusader really only has protection from Abrupt Decay. And if they run it back, we could still sack the Germ token. We're going to have 5 mana, which means we could either equip the Flicker Wisp, which makes it mono huge, or we could return it to hand and then replay it again on their turn. I don't know which is more correct. The damage is obviously nice, but tapping out is a little more dubious. If they have Reclamation Sage here, that would be kind of a beating. That's one thing we're not playing around here. But if they have that, we're still getting in for a decent amount of damage, and we just have the Mirror Crusader. Alright, STP followed up by Abrupt Decay. I think that's a line he's possibly taking here, yeah. Alright, so go ahead and Abrupt Decay it. Yep, white. And we'll get Abrupt Decayed here. Seems okay to me. I mean, it's not the worst. We got a 2-for-1 out of him. We already got another 2-for-1 out of him. May not look like it, but I think we're grinding some good value here. Well, I think at a minimum, well, yeah, if Caracas was any other land, but it's not. I wonder, though, if we even need to play the Mirror Crusader out. So, this puts them to 10, so they're not quite dead next turn. Depends on how much risk I'm willing to assume here. If they have T-Del, I just die, right? T-Del's not good. I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go for it, though. Like, this is possibly wrong. Like, Texas Deluge is just a beating, but I think if they had it, they wouldn't have 2-for-1 themselves there. They would have just cast it last turn. So it doesn't make sense for them to have it, but if they top deck into it, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if they don't have it, like, we just win. Like, if they top deck into it, then we probably lose the game. Good game, man. So this is Legacy Death and Taxes. I don't think it's in a great spot right now. You saw my build during sideboards, but I'll pull it up real quick. I don't have a ton of Legacy decks, because I don't play the format all that often. But I do have fun playing it from time to time, and I think Death and Taxes is one of those interesting decks that that a lot of folks, some folks look down on. I think the deck's awesome, though. Like, so this build is specifically designed to help beat Miracles with 2 by Palace Jailer. So the card's almost virtually unbeatable by Miracles. I mean, yeah, certain versions of Miracles run creatures, and then all of them have Entreat the Angels. But if they're getting to a point where they can safely cast Entreat the Angels, then they're probably already winning anyways. So I don't look at that as being a relevant card to beat Palace Jailer specifically. But you can definitely outcard them if you get that card down. Sanctum Prelate, another one of that main deck, because I think the card is extremely good and it allows you to win a lot of game ones you shouldn't be able to win. To include Storm, lands, even, because you can stop either 1 or 2, both of which are very relevant. 1 stops Gamble, stops Crop Rotation, stops Exploration. Generally speaking, you're not going to get Exploration, though, because they're going to play that out on turn 1 anyways, before you can get the Sanctum Prelate down. Stopping 2, though, is quite relevant, as it will stop Loam in its tracks and force them to, play off the top of their deck, which makes them a lot worse. As opposed to drawing 3 cards a turn, they essentially just draw 1 a turn. Look at the sideboard. A lot of anti-graveyard stuff in the sideboard. 4 by Rest in Peace, 2 by Surgical Extraction, 2 Containment Priest. Possibly want to turn some of that into some more Storm Hate. Currently have Ethersword and Canoness and Leyline of Sanctity for Storm Hate, plus Vryn Wingmare and Stony Silence for LED. Mirror Crusader just randomly can mise games from Nick Fit if they don't have the the Pernicious Deed, which Pernicious Deed is just a tough card for this deck to deal with. One of the ways it deals with it is main deck Phyrexian Revoker can stop it. But generally the big creatures are going to be the bigger problem. One more Cavern of Souls. I'm not really a huge fan of that. A couple of things I think probably needs to be done with this build is we probably need to drop 1 Caracas out, possibly run 1 more Plains or 1 more Cavern of Souls main deck. That could be more correct. Sword of Fire and Ice is just one of those cards that allows you to beat through the True Name Nemesis decks. True Name Nemesis is a problem for this deck because it does have some flyers. Typically speaking, it's going to be very tough for the deck to beat through. And, it is an aggro-control deck is what I would call it. It does win through its creatures, so it needs to be able to attack while it's still disrupting things. And I think that last game was indicative of a pretty solid game where we were able to get 2-for-1 advantages, which is what this deck is all about. It's just about grindy 2-for-1 advantage is how it does its control part of aggro control. And eventually just beats them down with, little weenie creatures, which we were able to do there because our opponent didn't have answers to them. So, hope you guys enjoyed this legacy content. This is one of my favorite legacy decks. I also like lands quite a bit. I don't mind miracles either, but I think this deck is pretty sweet. This is probably not the most updated version or the coolest version of it that you can probably find out there, but it is certainly very fun to play, and it's probably only different within 4 to 5 cards of most of the list that you'll find out there. This being my build. Like I said, I think there's a few things that need to be done. One less Caracas, maybe one more Horizon Canopy, actually, as opposed to just another basic Plains. And then I think, another place you could find some differences in decks is Spirit of the Labyrinth. I'm running 2 right now, which I don't know if that's always per se right. I'm also running Sierra Avenger because it gets around Dread of Night, although the card itself is really just a beater, so it's not that great. It is decent off Vial, but all it is a clock. It does nothing else. And then the 2x Palace Jailers. I don't often see Palace Jailer main deck, but I do like it main deck because it's not bad against the big threats out of Nick Fit, which is a deck this deck can be challenged by, and it also helps shore up the green-white matchup. I've been seeing a lot more green-white decks, like Knight of the Reliquary decks running around, and I think this card's pretty good. Another option we could look at is possibly running some number in the sideboard of Aven Mind Sensor. But right now, I think we have the sideboard set up to beat what is probably most threatening or common, and is most anathematic to fair decks like this deck, which is like the graveyard-based strategies and the storm-based strategies. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this legacy content. This would be my first time doing legacy content with a deck, and I thought I would start off with this deck because Death and Taxes holds a special place in my heart. I love white creature decks that are highly disruptive and have a lot more play to them than just turning cards sideways and winning. That is how it wins, but it has a lot more interplay in how you decide to sequence and also what you decide to disrupt in the given matchup you're in. All right, guys, enjoy and take care now.